Hey, greetings. Hi, everyone. It's Melanie here from Stamp with Melanie. Thanks for joining this Wednesday evening. So let me just make sure everything is working the way it's supposed to. Okay, looks like we are live in the right place. All right. So this evening, I'm planning on a fun fold card for you. I was introduced to this card last week, and I thought it was so cute, and I couldn't wait to share it with you. And to create our card, we're going to use the Charming Duck Pond bundle and the coordinating designer series paper, which is so adorable. These little images are just as cute as can be. And I know this is just gonna, it's a fun set that I know you're gonna love anyhow. Let's go ahead and get started. The name of this fun fold is a puzzle slider card. And I'm going to show you, first I'm going to show you, this is the card we're going to make tonight. Hello, friend. And then when you open it, it says happy birthday. And this is how it sits closed. It's so easy to make. And then I have another one. This one is a sneak peek. These papers and the sentiment and the dies are all part of the new online exclusives release that will be available next week starting on the 3rd. And I used that to make this fun wedding card, or just a congratulations card of any type, really. So that's another example of the same fold. All right, it's fun. It's not hard to put together. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with a piece of, I'm using basic beige, and the card base is cut to 9.5 by 4 1/4. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my trimmer, and I'm going to score on both ends at 2 inches. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to be very careful to make sure I'm lining up correctly, because even though this is really easy to make, if you're not lined up correctly, then that can throw you off. So we're going to go at 2 inches, and then again at 1 inch. And then I'm just going to flip it around and do the same thing. Score at 2 inches and at 1 inch. Okay. So now I'm going to grab my bone folder, and I'm just going to fold these. I'm going to fold the 2 inch into the center, and making sure that my top and bottom are aligned, which they should be since I double checked on the trimmer. And then I'm going to fold the 1 inch back out again. And I'm going to repeat on this side. And fold back out again. Okay, now I have some measurements for you. Using the same color cardstock as your card base, you need to cut 2 pieces at 2 1/8 by 2 1/4. and 2 more pieces at 2 1/8 by 3 1/4. So I've got those right here. These are my 2 1/8 by 3 1/4 and 2 1/8 by 2 1/4. Okay, except for we're going to use them in this order. And then, because I added an extra layer on my card, I added this layer of Pretty Peacock. You will cut 2 more pieces of cardstock, or 4 more pieces of cardstock, 2 at 2 inches by 1 1, or sorry, let me start that over. If you're putting a layer of cardstock on, you want to cut it at 2 inches by 2 1/8. You need 2 of those, and 2 inches by 3 1/8, and you need 2 of those. So I've got those. And that's going to look like that. Now, we need to cut our designer series paper. And in this case, I'm using this pattern here. And this does have a top to bottom orientation. So I want to make sure when I cut, I keep that in line. And let me get my trimmer back up. So when cutting the designer series paper, and you're using this size, you can either cut one giant piece at 3 3/4 by 5, or what I like to do is I'm going to cut 1 7/8, making sure that I'm lined up, 1 7/8, and then trim it to 5. Okay, now, as you saw before when I laid these out, I'm planning on, in my upper left corner, to have this stack, and in my upper right corner to have this stack. So when I cut my designer series paper now, this is a 5-inch length, so I'm going to cut 3 inches, and that will leave me this. Okay? So there we are with our top. Now for our next layer, we're going to just repeat that. We're going to cut it 1 7/8. And then we're going to cut it 5. And this time, because our bottom row, this is the bottom left, and this is the bottom right, we're going to cut the 2-inch piece first. The 2 1/8 piece first, and then the 3 1/8 piece. Oh, no, sorry. 2-inch piece first and 3-inch piece separate. Sorry, I started looking at the wrong set of measurements again. Okay, so I can set the paper trimmer aside for now. And I'm going to bring my card pieces back in. And here's how we're going to lay it out on the card itself. And then here is the card base. So what I like to do is set all of these aside, kind of in the order that we're going to put them on the card. And we're going to attach the base pieces. So one more time, I'm just going to go over my score lines. And now I'm going to grab my liquid glue. And I'm going to adhere this one first. And this will be my top left piece. Now, when you put this down, the only thing you want to be sure of is that you're lining up edges to edges, corners to corners, top to top. Okay, that looks good. And I have these little clips that I just like to hold it in place for a minute to give that glue a chance to adhere. While that's happening, we can glue our lower left piece. Let's get some down here. Yeah. Okay, again, I want to make sure my edges are aligned, My tops are aligned. Why do I have a space there? Let's see. Guys, I used the wrong one. Hold on. This should be 2 1/8. Yeah. Okay. Make sure that's there. And I'm going to clip this side also and let that sit for a second. I'm going to cut one more piece of basic beige real quick. Since I put that one down wrong. Okay, let me see. Okay, so what I need is a piece of 2 1/8 by 2 1/4. So we'll go 2 1/4 and cut a 2 1/8. All right, we're good. Back in business. These are good now. Our first set is done. Now on the bottom, this one will go on the bottom. This one will go on the top. And we're going to check the alignment. Make sure everything is where it should be. Yes. Okay, let's go with the glue. Okay, I've got my top 2 1/8 piece on the right side. And it's aligned at the top and at the side. So I'll go ahead and clip that in place. Now these clips leave a little mark, but we're going to cover that up. And then same on the bottom. All right, we are lined up here as well. Okay, so I'm gonna add my little clip there, and that'll just be for a second. Meantime, I'm gonna start gluing these pieces together. And you can see that these line up. So you can see that I've kept the layers intact. All right, this is our top. And there's our top right. Okay. Remove these clips. Okay. Bottom left. And bottom right. Okay. Now we're ready to go ahead and add these back to our card. This is top left. bottom right, or bottom left. Then we'll go top left, or top right. And then bottom right. Okay. All right, now here that our card base is done. So let's work on the little tag for the front of the card. So for that, what I did was I die cut a couple of pieces of basic beige and pretty peacock, and I used the deckled rectangle dies for that. Then I die cut a couple of pussy willows or pond willows or whatever that I'm going to place like that. Then I have a little lily pad. And on top of that, I have a little flower. A little lotus flower that we'll put right on the top of it. And I'm going to stamp this with Hello Friend. And we're going to use Pretty Peacock ink. Not much stamping on this card. Now when I die cut the little lotus flower, I did use a blending brush and put some pretty and pink ink on that to brighten it up a little. Okay. Layer these together. Now what I'm going to do is grab the glue dots. And just use a glue dot. And I'm not going to layer them right on top of each other because I want them to be slightly offset. So it'll be like that. And then add another glue dot. Place it on my card front or on the left side of the label. Can add another glue dot for my lily pad. And what I'm going to do is cover that up right there. And just bring it over to the side a little bit. And then I'm going to put my flower right on top of that. And this time I'm going to put the flower over here because I have a little bit of glue dot showing and I want to cover that up. So I'll put my lily pad right there. Or my flower, rather. Okay, now, when I add this to the front, I want to be careful because I don't want to put adhesive on the whole thing. So all I'm going to do is add some adhesive to like right here. So this will be in the upper left in this big space. And put that down. Now for the inside of the card, I have a piece of basic white cardstock. And then I'm going to grab my scrap of the Designer Series paper. My basic white is cut to 5 inches by 3 3/4. So I'm going to cut a little 3/4 inch strip off of here. And I'm going to cut that down to 5 inches. Add a little glue down here to the bottom base of this. And then just adhere to the bottom of the cardstock, the basic white piece. Come on, get down there. Don't slide that far. Okay, good stuff. Now, I have one more stamp, and it says, Happy Birthday. One of the things I really like about this bundle is I love the font. And, I mean, if you know me at all, I'm such a font freak. I can be turned off by an entire stamp set if I don't like the font. This one I love. I'm going to stamp it up at the top to leave plenty of room to write a note or sign the card, whatever you need to do. And add a little stamp and seal. Add this to the inside. Okay, and then I'm just going to add a couple of little embellishments to the front. These are the 24, 26 in color resin dots. And so I'm going to just add a couple of these in pretty and pink. And there's our card. So what do you think? Are you ready to give one of these a try? Why is it there? I think they're really cute, something different. We haven't seen this before. You can even make them 3 layers if you wanted. That requires a little extra math. I have measurements for that. So I think what I'll do is I'll add the measurements for both the two layers and the 3 layers. I'll add that to Facebook and to YouTube when I upload it there, so that if you want to refer back and grab those measurements, you can do so. Next week, I'm going to have my next free crafting class, and we're going to use the same bundle for that. So something to look forward to. I'm going to shoot to do it Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't want to wait any longer because everybody's going to be out and about for the 4th. All right, so thanks for joining. I hope you like this little fun fold. I think it's absolutely adorable. And don't forget to take a look at the new online exclusives that will be available beginning July 3rd, including this new bundle with the new Designer Series paper, dies, and stamp set. This particular bundle has 2 stamp sets. This one, which is for everyday occasions, and then one that's Christmas related. So something to look forward to. Okay, thanks again. Have a great evening, and we'll see you next week. Bye now.